Hey guys, Marsthingen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we are continuing on with the no item runs on the new 10 stages of Super Battle Road. As I've said in previous, I feel like I'm going to end up mentioning this in every part, but as I've said in some of the previous videos and on Twitter, if you follow me, obviously you'll have seen this already, I did do all 10 of the stages no items within the first 24 hours. I did have to work like a 12-hour day shift on Christmas Day, so I basically just sat on my phone and recorded all of the no item runs just so I could post a screenshot essentially on Twitter, because you guys know, even though I try and put out like 2 or 3 videos a day, I wasn't just going to put up like all 10 videos on day one. And I know there's a lot of people out there that like to try and act like they have a chance at taking the Super Battle Road King throne from me, and so they try and rush their videos out before me. So I wanted to make sure everybody was aware that I'd done them all on day one, and it was just going to take some time to release the videos. So we have the Wicked Bloodline stage for you today. Honestly, this is definitely one of the easier ones. I don't know what they were thinking, like maybe they just wanted to make this one easier for people, but every single stage is against Pure Saiyans and Hybrid Saiyans. So obviously there are certain units that get buffs from that. Cooler can transform on turn 3, and then every single stage has a Goku family enemy. So one of the units that features quite prominently on this team is the Int Final Form Frieza, the tank one who you need to have for the Extreme Z area for Tech Prime Battle LR Goku, because as long as there is a Goku family enemy, he has a massive amount of damage reduction. So he's a really good defensive unit. He also lowers attack on Super as well, so he's very good here. So Cooler taking his Super is not great, but as you can see, he doesn't take a lot of damage from normal attacks anyway. Physical Final Form Cooler is just kind of here to fill a gap in the 3rd slot. He links up obviously super well with the STR Cooler anyway. And I think we are pretty much running our rotations with a tank. So obviously Int Frieza on this rotation, Golden Frieza on the other rotation, and then an STR Cooler. And of course, we're not going for, this isn't a race, we're not going for any sort of like speed run here. It's all about the no items strats. So of course we will be transforming Cooler, well, both Coolers really. We'll be transforming a Cooler at literally every single possible opportunity because transformed he is an absolute madman. Mine is Rainbow full level 10 links, and I believe the friend is as well. So obviously he is absolutely crazy. So what I try and do here is I use the Int Frieza quite a lot to like attack lower the Goku family enemy, so in this case Bardock, and then we can just have everybody else go off, make sure King Vegeta is gone, and then obviously start working on taking out Bardock. But as you can see here, that Frieza, 22k from a super attack with no items active, and that is like the most damage that he will take basically. So he is incredibly good for the no items attempt, and obviously Cooler turn 1 of transforming, ridiculous attack stat, takes out King Vegeta. I bought the Tech Transforming Frieza because honestly, once you bring like the key players, there's 1 or 2 slots maybe to fill on the team where there aren't necessarily like straight away obvious first pick units for a no items run. So I bought Tech Transforming Frieza essentially just to use as a 3rd slot floating unit. He heals at the start of each turn once he starts transforming, which is really useful. He can hit reasonably hard, but the problem is he's not super good defensively, so depending on how the rotations work out, it depends where the best place is going to put him, but usually you're just going to use him as a 3rd slot floater. And then the other one that I brought, as you can see, will be on this next rotation, is the GT Frieza, the free-to-play one. He is a support unit. He does have a little bit of damage reduction, and he can stun as well, so he is pretty useful for just providing that little bit of a buff. And then yeah, so here I want to target Nappa with the type advantage. Going to target Vegeta to lower his attack, and then Goku to lower his attack, because obviously STR Cooler lowers attack as well, so we do have quite a lot of attack lowering. Sorry, I say lower attack, actually that Frieza can stun, so we could potentially stun Goku, because the good thing about this fight is we have Goku and Raditz, so we only need to keep one of them alive in order for the Int Final Form Frieza to have his passive active. So it actually doesn't matter like which one we keep alive, so it kind of depends how the attacks pan out. And of course everyone's super attacking Golden Frieza is exactly what we want to see, because he just takes no damage. And now we can lower Vegeta's attack here. Still do a pretty reasonable amount of damage. Getting the double super is really good as well, because double attack lowering. Plus, you know, even untransforms, like Cooler, hits pretty hard. I mean, Vegeta, I think, has the most HP, and we took out like half of his HP in the one turn with that STR Cooler. So that definitely works out very nicely for us. And 20k damage is not too bad on you. And then, yeah, here we go again. So we're getting fairly lucky with our rotations on this run, I will say, because obviously having a bunch of attacks built up rather than having them all spread out is very, very useful when you're running a strategy like this, where we have one like mega tank on each rotation and then our follow-up with Cooler. So yeah, I lower Raditz's attack here because obviously he's attacking Final Form Cooler in the end, and Final Form Cooler, not necessarily the strongest tank, although of course he's getting a support buff from both the Int Frieza and the Cooler, the STR one on this turn. So I think his defense is actually pretty solid, but we'll lower Raditz's attack. As long as he doesn't super, then obviously physical Final Form Cooler will be fine. Goku super attacking the Frieza here is exactly what we want, 4,000 damage. And 3.1 attack stat on Cooler, untransformed, pretty good. So nice big damage to Vegeta. Of course we take a super, 100k is honestly not that bad. And then even physical Final Form Cooler is on a 2.8 million attack stat on this rotation, thanks to all the support. So yeah, he's one of the, his Easy A is one that I'm really looking forward to, because I've always really liked the physical Final Form Cooler. And so when he gets his Easy A, as long as he doesn't get the Super Saiyan 3 Broly treatment, he is going to be absolutely crazy. So transform with Cooler yet again, of course, because why wouldn't we? I mean, the only argument I guess that could be made is you do lose the support buff from, because we're still fighting multiple enemies. Most of the team is on Terrifying Conquerors, so they are getting that huge 50% buff from the untransformed Cooler. But obviously the way the scales are tipped with the fact that then STR Cooler just does so much damage. Because yeah, we could get, hopefully Golden Frieza finishes off Vegeta, but STR Cooler here will be able to do so much damage to Goku that he probably just kills Goku, and then if he gets any additionals, kills Vegeta anyway, even if Golden Frieza doesn't. But I mean, Golden Frieza's still rocking a 1.7 million attack stat, depending how, does he crit? No, he didn't crit, so we didn't take out Vegeta, but it's very possible that Cooler could additional into taking out. Yeah, look at that. One super, guaranteed crit, almost dead. We get the additional normal, which the game decided to skip, but would have been a guaranteed crit as well, of course. So then Final Form Frieza takes out Vegeta. And yeah, we're in a very good spot here. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, we might as well transform again. There's no real reason not to. I think the Int Frieza in slot 1 could potentially kill Goku just by himself. And then Cooler hopefully at least gets an additional or something and takes out Raditz. So as you can see, even though we've taken the odd super here or there on like Cooler, I think STR Cooler has taken a super attack for 100k, twice during the run. But because of the links, a lot of them have like metamorphosis and stuff as well. We are still pretty much at full HP so far. So this run going well. I would definitely put Wicked Bloodline at the lower end of the scale for difficulty level for the no item runs. Honestly, a lot of these no item runs, not to brag too much, you know, even though, I mean, I am the Super Battle Road King, but like a lot of these no item runs literally took 1 or 2 attempts. Some of the harder ones, we'll talk about them later when those videos actually go up. But like Movie Heroes was obviously pretty difficult with the team that I used. The Goku and Vegeta family ones took me a little bit of like messing around with the teams to get them just right. But like some of these ones, I mean literally this was the first team build that I tried to use, and this was literally like maybe the 2nd or 3rd attempt, and it was only because of things beyond your control, like, you know, physical Final Form Cooler taking a super attack in the last slot and taking like 300k, like stuff that you can't really avoid. You don't know where the super attacks are going to be. But yeah, I would definitely put this one a little bit lower on the scale in terms of difficulty. So, final fight, Goku, Vegeta and Trunks. Obviously, we want to keep Goku alive for as long as possible. So I decided to target him with Cooler, Because obviously with having type disadvantage, Cooler's not going to do a crazy amount of damage, but he's going to lower Goku's attack, which is obviously important because we're taking a type disadvantage attack from him in the middle. So even with Cooler lowering his attack, there's always the possibility that that attack from Goku in the middle is a super attack. And then even with how well this run has been going so far, that would literally be GG if he supers us in the final slot. So we obviously need to be careful. Trunks getting off a super, but I mean it's on Golden Frieza, so crack on. And yeah, so lower Goku's attack. If we get a crit, that would be nice. Do a little bit of extra damage, but obviously we want to be careful that we keep him alive until last. So obviously not critting in this particular situation, I'm perfectly happy with that. And I mean, look at the damage that Cooler is doing. Obviously he has type advantage, but yeah, there you go. This is just what I'm talking about. 280k damage from a super from Goku there. So I think what I do here, because a super or like another super attack would kill us, I have to put this Frieza in the first slot, which is really annoying because it means we're getting the Dokkan attack with him, and he is not the hardest hitting unit in the game by any stretch. So this is one of those scenarios that didn't quite go exactly how I wanted. And because we have the transforming Frieza in the last spot, we have to try and make sure we take out Trunks this turn, because the amount of damage that he would do to Frieza in that final spot would obviously be quite a lot. So we have to go ahead and unfortunately get the Dokkan attack here. Of course, no one super attacked in slot 1, so potentially I could have put Cooler there, because Goku was still attack lowered, so he wouldn't have done crazy damage to Cooler. And Cooler would obviously have done a lot more damage with the Dokkan attack. But that's how it goes with the no item runs. You've got to play it safe, because any one of those attacks being a super in slot 1, the Frieza would have tanked it, but the Cooler wouldn't. So, so we managed to take out Trunks, so we don't have to worry too much about Final Form Frieza in the final spot. But you'll see here, when he takes the attacks from Vegeta, he does still take a little bit of damage. Obviously, Goku's attack lowered and we got type advantage. Oh, he did only take double digits. Well, there you go. It's interesting recording the commentary for these like a couple of days after you recorded them, because I do forget all of the things that happen throughout the run. So there you go. I thought Tech Transforming Frieza was going to be more of a liability than he actually was. The fact that he took double digit damage. I think we probably hit Vegeta with some attack lowering at some point as well, but still very good showing for him. And then yeah, we get a Cooler to transform. I mean, bear in mind as well, this is still turn 3. So that's how good this team is. Like, imagine if you were using items, you could quite easily pop like a defensive item and then maybe pop like an attack up item as well. And you could very easily get through this stage like super quickly. Have every single turn 3 be the final turn where you just transform Cooler and he finishes off like whatever's left of the enemy. So but yeah, double supers on Goku, but he does survive, which is good. Although I think Cooler, we're in a position where if Cooler gets any sort of like additional super attack, we just win, because this super attack should instantly kill Vegeta. We get the guaranteed crit on top of having type advantage, and then boom, there you go. Guaranteed additional super. Because we get the guaranteed crits, we don't have to worry about the fact that Goku's AGL, so that is GG for Goku as well. So there you go. That is the no items run for Wicked Bloodline. Obviously, I have done all 10. I'm going to get the videos out as quickly as possible. And yeah, so we'll move on to the next one. But Wicked Bloodline, no item run. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the link to my Discord in the description. Feel free to join in the fun over there. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.